Good morning, sports fans from all around the globe. I am your host, Jeff Dawson, East Coast Sports Investors. And this is your breakfast bankroll for Saturday, May 21st, 2022. The weekend is here, and what a weekend we have. As I was going through the descriptions, I had the Preakness up there. I got Heat, Celtics game 3 back in Boston. Aves look to rebound against the pesky Blues in St. Louis there. Baseball all day, all night. Didn't even mention the PGA Championship, and what a first couple rounds. Number one ranked Scotty Scheffler sent packing, Dustin Johnson sent packing. A lot of big names did not make the weekend. Tiger rallies to make the cut if you're watching. He's out on the course now. Bubba Watson with 9 birdies yesterday. And I'm just going to say this. The afternoon group got a nice bump or blessing from the golfing gods. The high winds that were expected were a no-show, and they had some great opportunities, and there were some big scores. Willie Z, leader at -9, and this course history here, if you are leading after 2, you got a good chance of winning, and I hope that does not come true this week. We have no Willie Z anywhere. The funny thing with the ECSI VIPs, and again, you cannot play them all. This tournament had over 140 golfers, so you pick your spots. So we have just over a half dozen overalls. We had some first-round leaders. One of our leaders we took was Spieth over Rory, and of course Rory goes box to wire there. So there was a kick in the you-know-what. And then we have top 20s, top 40s, some head-to-head matchups. Well, if you look closer to that leaderboard, there's a guy up there that probably most of you guys don't know. His name is Mito Pereira, who went off at around 200 to 1, some crazy number. And one of our algorithms actually had his actual odds to win this tournament at 48 to 1. So the market value was absolutely through the roof. But even like a $10 play gets you 2,000 if he was ever to win. And that's what I call is, those pizza and beer swings and stuff. But we didn't do that this week. What we said is we'll get even cuter. We got him a top 20 plus 220, top 40 plus 110 or something like that. And now I see him one shot back, and I'm like, oh my God, this would be the week that he stuns the world and wins this at 200 to 1. And we're sitting with top 20 and top 40s, but we still got 36 holes to go there. So the story in Boston is story. 4 homers, 11 RBIs in the last 2 days. Obviously, the big concern is Xander Bogaerts again going out in the shortstop, going out into the outfield trying to catch a fly ball, and I don't think he heard Verdugo. And the one thing that if you look at that replay, you get so lucky is, he could have broke that arm so easily. It looks like a tailbone. I haven't seen any updates yet today. So the way he hit the ground and then bounced back up and then went back down, it looked like a tailbone or something like that. But I'm not a doctor. We're just hoping that everything's okay. And he's back to playing shortstop sooner than later. Scotty's sitting there all smiles right now as his Tampa, it's not Tampa Bay for hockey, it's Tampa Bay Lightning, 2-time defending champs, back at home, ready to pull the plug on the Panthers. The surprising thing is that Florida's still favored, so it's going to be interesting there. But haven't talked to Scotty in a while, so let's bring him on, see what he has to say. The one and only Mr. Scott E. Webb. Good morning, sir.
Hey, it's Cartoons Day, man. I remember Saturday mornings getting up and running down and watching Scooby-Doo and all that stuff in the morning, and then having to figure out what I was going to do the rest of the afternoon, probably go out and play ball in the yard or something.
I was one of those, what was it, Schoolhouse Rock, right? Something like that.
Yeah, I know. I remember something like that, yeah.
Yeah. Conjunction, junction, what's your function? And all that good stuff. Today I'm a Bill, and wow, God, I'm going back 50 years. I can't even go back 50 minutes what I was doing last hour.
I know,
Short
right?
term memory, scary, scary, scary. Been a couple days since we talked sports. Um, before we dive into the board and something, I'm trying to really crank up my brain here this morning. I'm going to just get a count at where we are on the games here. Give me 1 second. The Dodgers have played 38 games. Okay, 38. I'm going to use the number 3, and I have no idea. I'm trying to really rattle my brain. They're underdogs today. How many times they've been underdogs this year?
I can look, but I guarantee that this might be the only time.
I am really rattling my brain right now. Even the 3 games in San Diego, they were all favorites. Even when San Diego came there, they were favorites. I'm rattling my brain. I can't remember. I'm usually good at that too.
Let's see. They were minus. What happened in that game? I have to look at it a different way because this is showing me that they were underdogs against this team, and I don't think they were.
Who was it? And I'll tell you if it was.
Minnesota.
Minnesota?
Yeah.
Who was pitching? Johan Santana?
Well, that's the. I'm like, what is going on here? This couldn't be right.
There is no pitcher Minnesota has that they could have been favorites over. Underdogs to.
That's what I said. There's no way. Maybe it's just the way this website has this stuff all.
That's all right. I didn't know if you knew on the top of your head. That's all. Full slate today. Let's just get a Scotty Webb roundup in the last couple of days. Trevor Story reminded me of that Schwarber run. I know we got a ways to go, but it's funny how one game Story takes the RBI lead over for the Red Sox, and then he picks it back up yesterday. Now all of a sudden, it was a perfect fit. It just took time. Yada yada yada. And listen, I didn't put it this way. I didn't poo-poo the signing. I poo-pooed the signing because it was going to be the eventual replacement of Bogarts. That was supposed to be the soft landing. We'll see how that goes. But what has caught your eye the last couple of days? Any teams heating up? Any teams pooping the bed? Any individual, guys heating up? We're at that time now. It's good now. You're getting that warmer weather. We're almost, 8, 9, 10 days left in May. We'll be talking June 1st next week or in 10 days. What are you seeing out there, Scott?
Well, this is typically this kind of baseball kind of goes through a cycle, right? So you get the guys started, and then you get the guys back that couldn't start right away, and they come back. Then you get the injuries, so we're seeing some of that. But this is the time for call-ups. This is call-up season. That's where we are right now.
Rashman finally got called up.
Yeah, he's playing today. So you've got St. Louis with a couple of guys going. You got one of their pitchers going today, Liberatore. This is the time where the younger kids they got to figure out whether they're going to help them or whether they're not. So they bring them up, and they usually do this. And then the next thing is let's figure out who's going to be the buyers and sellers, and then what's available. And then you're going to have the trade talks, and then you're going to have the trades come down. So some interesting things that I've been hearing that the Washington Nationals are at a point where, they don't know what to do with Juan Soto. They're not going to be able to probably re-sign him because their team's not good enough. And if they don't re-sign him, then they get nothing for him, then they're in big trouble. So the thought has been that the best thing to do is to trade Juan Soto now. If you trade him now, these 3 more years of contractual obligation that whoever takes him doesn't have to pay him all the big bucks, and then it's after 3 years that's when the big bucks goes crazy. So, if you're a contending team and you have some talent in the minors, you can get Juan Soto.
Do you know who the team I'm hearing, by the way?
Oh, I have no idea. I know the Rays have a ton of people that they could give them, but I don't know if they would go that way.
San Diego Padres.
Well, I don't know what the Padres have. Their minor league system's pretty dry right now. They got rid of a lot of those guys. They got some pitchers. They got some things they could still do. They got a pitching problem. They got guys they don't want. I mean, they don't want Will Myers. They want to get rid of some of those contracts. They really wanted to get rid of Hosmer, but I don't think they want to get rid of Hosmer now.
He's his second best hitter.
I know, that's what I mean. I don't think they want to get rid of him now. So as they are trying to figure out what they're going to do and how all that stuff's going to play out, there's a lot of stuff getting ready to happen in Major League Baseball. So I think it's fun that the kids get a chance, and it's like anything else. You got to be careful. All these can't miss guys do miss. Look at Kellenic or whatever the hell that guy's name is. He's back down in the minor leagues. CJ Abrams is back down in the minor leagues, a Padre guy. And I was just checking on his numbers. He's not hitting in the minor leagues. He's batting .216 in AAA. Go ahead.
I was going to say, Kellenic, when he came up last year, they went back down. He was raking again. And then, slow spring training, slow start. He's back down there. And then you talked about a CJ Abrams who came up and actually showed some flashes back down. Do these kids take it as a gut punch? Like, holy shit. It looks like some take it well, some don't. Some, the coach pulls you in, says, hey, we really love you. You showed some flashes, but, we need to see you work on this. I'll tell you what the Red Sox do a lot of times is, especially when they play the up, down, is, hey, we only got 5 games this week. We want to make sure, you got 6 or 7 down below. You're going to get more cuts. There's more opportunity to play. Therefore, get back down there, get your reps, It seems like some of these kids, it's a big, letdown. Like, shit, I was there. I tasted it. I lived the life. Now I'm back down here on the bus going back and forth. And it must be a real mind, you know what.
Well, I think you got a couple of guys that probably are that way, and then a couple of guys that fight through that. Look at Byron Buxton. How many times did he come up and down, right? And now he's got, 13 home runs or something stupid like that, 11 or something. He's doing great. And then you got the guys like Joe Adele, right? Joe Adele is up and down and up and down and up and down. He's down again. I think that's like the 3rd time for him. Kellenic's down there for the 2nd time. I would say for Kellenic, it's probably a gut punch for him because he was supposed to be the guy. But I think everybody responds a little differently. Baseball is a game where once you're at a certain level of play, you have to work on specific things to get better. And if you're not doing those specific things to get better, the mundane routine of the day-to-day life of a baseball player can wear you down. And that's just because it's the same routine every day. You go out there and you hit ground balls, you take your fielding practice, you hit the batting cage, and you do whatever, and you're ready for the game. So, but if you're not working on what you need to be doing, and you're not really working on the right things that you need to be doing, you're not getting any better. And once you get to a certain point, the talent is always there, but it's the applied ability to learn and then put that out on the field, because major league pitchers and major league teams get a book on you. That's what they call it. They get a book on you. So they know where to throw the ball, where you can't hit it. And they know what speed to throw it at. So they're going to throw it at certain pitches, certain ways to set you up to get you out with that pitch you can't hit. Then you as a hitter have to understand, I can't hit that pitch, so I need to figure out how to hit that pitch because they're going to throw it there every time. So it's a game of adjustments, and the kids have to learn all that. Some of them can come right up and, Juan Soto is 22 years old, 23 years old still. He's got, 17,000 home runs already. So as he's moving through, some of these kids don't have those adjustment problems. They can just see the ball, hit the ball, and they can move along. Their swings are really good, and they don't have any of these issues. The biggest thing that you need to do when you're a hitter is have plate discipline. If you don't swing it, if you think of it this way, if you don't swing at balls, you're in good shape. You know what I mean? If you only swing at strikes, you're in good shape. Because if you're swinging at balls, you're giving the pitchers so many more advantages, and kids tend to do that because they get a little jumpy and all that stuff. We'll see how Adley does. Adley Rushman. I mean, he would have made the team at the beginning. He got hurt, so this is his call up and the first time out there. But he's not been tearing it up in AAA. He tore it up. So what they did was we need you to play 50 games, whatever it was. In the minor leagues, and he played in AA and tore up AA, and then he got to AAA and he wasn't. So he hit a home run the other night, so that gave him 3 now home runs in AAA, and they decided, okay, we're going to move you up. Well, he's only batting, it's like 220 or something in AAA. That's not that good. And the year before, when he was going from single A to AA, he hit 21 home runs. So he was all, they were all ready for him to go. And then when he had a pretty good spring, he earned it and made the team. Then he got hurt. So when he put him down there, they wanted him to get a ton of at-bats so that when you do bring a kid up, that you don't have that problem. But think about what they're doing to the kid. He played, because I looked. So they play the Rays. Okay, what kind of Rays? What the shit? They're going to have all goofy pitchers and all kinds of stuff out there and mess with this kid the first couple of games. And then I think they play the Yankees, and then they play the Red Sox. So I mean, okay, throw the kid in a fire, right, don't you? So I guess he's going to get an introduction to the American League East.
That was one of my partner in our fantasy. He drafted Rashman. He sat on our bench the whole time. So he's all giddy there. He drafted Rodriguez from Baltimore, the pitcher. We're waiting for that
kid is having a hell of a spring, a hell of a minor leagues right now. I mean, he's got like 37 strikeouts or something in 20 innings.
So we're waiting for that call up. So that's the 2 guys. And then obviously we're holding on to Tatis. I reached out to our buddy Craig because you and I have talked about it at length as well. June 7th's coming. He's per Craig and some other San Diego Padre sources. He didn't go with the team. He's out in Arizona. He's fielding everything. He's doing everything. He hasn't obviously got the cast off yet, and he hasn't obviously done any batting yet. So there is basically we got about 17 days till that date. I was hoping to get the cast off this week to get into that cage. I'm obviously hoping for that June 7th, June 8th. I'm hoping if it's later than that, obviously, I don't want the cast coming off in the middle of June. Have them, get a couple weeks of batting cages and whatever, and then say, you know what, the All-Stars break here. We'll bring it back after the All-Star break.
Well, it's too late for him to come back June the 7th or June the 8th. I mean, if it's what are we, May 21st? Even if they decided right now tomorrow they were gonna try to get him back. He would go down to the minor leagues for at least 10 to 12 days. So now you're talking, what is that? I mean, that's June, and he's got to do well, and he's got to not get hurt to be able to get through all that. He's missed a lot of time, so they're going to want him to have 50 at bats to get this timing down and that kind of stuff.
Don't forget it's Tatis though.
I understand.
The fact of the matter is, you got 17 days. If you woke up tomorrow or Monday morning and the cast's off, that puts it in play. My whole thing is here. I want June 14, June 17. I don't want June 30th and have them play a week before the All-Star break and tease us. That's my point.
Yeah, well, he's probably not coming back until after the All-Star break. That'd be my bad.
Scotty, I will jump in a plane right now and I will come and find you if that's the case. They've had a great start. So you can use the mindset of, hey, we've had a great start. Let's not rush it back. Who was the worst team in baseball the last 40 games of baseball last year?
Well, there's a lot of teams that are bad, but they weren't very good at all last year at the end.
That's my point.
But they got a new manager and they got some pitchers now and they got some stuff. So who knows? They went through a lot last year. So I don't know.
I'm going to pull the board up, but while I'm doing that, for my scouting team, because I'm a little salty, I haven't brought this up. I talked to our buddy Bernie Fratto last week. I'm like, Bernie, can I just get closure on the Bauer thing? And he goes, listen, you got a better chance. His exact words are, you have a better chance of Mookie Betts coming back and running for mayor and winning in the city of Boston than Trevor Bauer ever playing again. I mean, because there's three things here. They could erase the case and they can reduce this. And then the third thing is, the bottom line is, the Dodgers own the contract. And per Bernie, there is no bleeping way in hell he'll ever pitch again for the Dodgers. So the point is, my buddy is stubborn when it comes to court cases, stubborn when it comes to trying to beat the medicals and when they're coming back. So only one in the history this year that goes back and gets Bauer last week. And I'm just like, I have to bite my tongue. So I want your quick scouting report on Liberatore as I pull up this week's today's menu.
Well, Liberatore is the best pitcher that St. Louis has in their minor league system. I don't think he's not an ace kind of pitcher. He's a good pitcher. He's a quality pitcher, but he's not an ace kind of pitcher. So when I tell you that his stuff is okay, what I'm telling you is that compared to all the AAA pitchers who aren't going to get called up, he's better than them. But he's not the Grayson Rodriguez or whatever from Baltimore. He's not that guy. He's a serviceable, good pitcher, and he fits right into what St. Louis is, a good, serviceable kind of guys. He's no better than what they already have. He's just another arm angle and a younger kid that'll go out there. So there's some hope for the guy. I mean, I would probably say he's never going to be more than a number 3 anywhere. Look at, we made bets on number 3s to win the most wins in all of baseball this year. So, just because you're a number 3 don't mean you're not any good.
Those guys have kind of got a little quiet too, but that's for another day here. I get the board up from Wager Talk. Top of the board, Celtics now opened at 6.5. They tip off at 8:30 from the Garden. I talked to everyone that wanted to listen. Game 2, instead of taking the Celtics plus the 1.5, you could have grabbed them in the series price plus 105, plus 110. They're now minus 300 to win the series, 305 actually, and the Heater plus 2 and change there. Some great, I think, Scotty, I know we complain a lot. There's some decent matchups today. There's some good arms. The Musgrove Rondon, obviously, it's a good matchup. I talked about the Dodgers as dogs today, which is always an eye-opener. Corbin Woodruff, Corbin is Corbin, and Woodruff is Woodruff. We get Whitlock back on the mound. The Red Sox have really picked it up here. Another win today will get them another series that will be 3 in a row. Bats have woken up. I'm not a big Flexen fan there. Bieber, we've been, on that teeter-totter. Was okay last start. Again, Bieber being Bieber, he's not getting to that 92, 93, but a good opportunity here against the Tigers, where hats off to the ECSI VIPs yesterday. It was a brutal board. I really, really studied the bleep out of it, and I pulled something up. Scooble was minus 120, 124 first five. The Guardians were minus 117, 114 to win the full game, Scott. We gave out Guardians minus the 114 to win the full game and for one unit. That was our only play. Zeros after five. I guess Scooble got hit or something. Something happened where they pulled him 3-run homer by Ramirez and 6-1 final there. So that was nice. Our buddy Verlander, who has been absolute money first five, pitches against Mr. Gray. Our buddy Montas still looking for a new home, which is coming. Manoa versus Green. Looks like Green, by the way, has kind of caught, I don't want to say some second wind, but it looked like they were going to ship him back down. He is held on there. Hats off to Castillo. His third start yesterday looked a lot better, even though they lose 2-1. And Carrasco versus Marquez scheduled. Snowed out yesterday. So the board's yours, my brother.
Imagine that, snow in May. I'm down here in Florida going, what are you guys doing? Go somewhere where it's warm. Anyway, I got a lot of plays today, Jeff. I mean, I'm like all over the place with all these plays. So let's I guess the best thing for me to do, let's just go over what I played, and then I can go over whatever games you want me to go over. I've got holy shit. I got 5 plays I made, and then I made 2 prop bets. So I got like 7 plays out here today. I guess I'm going crazy on Saturday. So the first game that I'm looking at is Arizona and Chicago, and I know they hit like 35 home runs yesterday. I'm only half kidding. I think they hit 10 or something, 11. And this is Bumgarner, and he's in Bumgarner's facing Steele today. And my numbers are way off here. I'm looking at this number, and I'm looking at was it -1? It opened at like -140 or something, and I'm going, I don't get this at all, because my numbers are pick them at best, and I like, and to be honest with you, Arizona has projected wise a little bit better record now than what Chicago Cubs do. So this is and Bumgarner's a better pitcher theoretically than Steele is. So this number is way off in my mind. So that number one means I'm playing value, and value is going to be on Arizona. So I'm going to go look at that. So then when I dove into it, Steele's off a game score 69, and his game score for the season's a 46. So that was his best game of the season, and I'm not going to look forward to him backing that up. The only obviously concern that I ever have if you're going to back the Diamondbacks is they don't hit the ball where they're shit. Of course, they hit 10 home runs yesterday, but I wouldn't expect them to hit 10 home runs today. But Bumgarner's yet old veteran kind of guy. He's off a game score of 45. He's a game score of 50 for the season. So he's an average pitcher. And Steele is, you either get him good, a good Steele, which has been twice all season, or you get him and you can score a lot of runs on him. So I like the idea here that he's off of that good start. He's going to have a bad start today. His metrics are good. I mean, his metrics are better than what Bumgarner's metrics are, but that's going to be kind of normal. His strikeout rate is better than what Bumgarner is, but that's kind of normal too. He just doesn't go very deep into the games, and then he gets the Chicago bullpen, and I'm okay with that. But what happens with Steele is a couple of things. Where Bumgarner's numbers kind of fall off, like his Sierra number, for example, is 4.71. That's not very good. And Steele's is like 4. The biggest thing is Steele puts guys on base. His walk rate is 5.09, 5.06 in 9 innings. So he's going to put guys on base. His batting average against is 254, and his whip rate is 1.63. So that's more than 1.5 guys on base every inning. So I like the idea that if he's going to put guys on base, I don't need to hit a whole bunch of home runs. I only need to hit a couple, or I need to get some hits off of him, and it looks like that he's very hittable. So I like the idea that we're getting value here. And the other one that kind of stood out to me is the WPA number. This is your win probability added, and the best way I can describe this to people so that they kind of get it is it goes over every single play, every single pitch, and then whether you did good, whether you did bad, on the outcome. So that means in tough situations you're going to get minuses, and when you're doing good in those situations you're going to get pluses. Well, in the season, he's a minus 29, and over the last month, he's a minus 37. And that's the difference in what Bumgarner, he's a plus 0.13. So even though he's more just a little better than average, Steele doesn't do good in these spots. So he's not tough enough to get those outs in these positions. So I like the idea that we got an underdog here that's really more of a pick 'em, and that line is just, I don't think it's right. So I'm on Arizona in that one. I am going to play Toronto and Cincinnati today. I'm going to play Manoah. I'm going to play him on the run line at home minus the 125. So I know I got to cover the 2 runs, but Green's off a game score 79. That's the best one he's had as a major leaguer. That's the one where he threw that no hitter and was almost taken out of the game. Remember? I mean, he had and they actually had a no hitter and lost. That was him. That was that game. Okay, well, he's gonna you know how to do this. When you have a guy that does that, you bet against him the next time, and you're betting on Manoah. Okay, great. That even makes it even better. So that means Cincinnati's not going to score very many, and that means that Toronto probably should score some. And they're a good fastball hitting team. Green's year-to-date number is a 39, so that's terrible, and that includes the 79 he threw last week. So that's not a good spot for Cincinnati to be in. His Sierra number is almost 5. Guys are getting on base. He walks 7 guys per 9 innings, puts guys on base. And, the more guys that are on base, the better off that I get a shot at covering that number. And Cincinnati's not really hitting the ball real well. Well, it was a 2-1 yesterday. So I like Manoah here. I like him to be able to go out, pitch good. His last time out was a 59. His game score for the year is a 62. So if he throws an average game, it's a 60. That's a good number. He should be really good in this spot. So I like them to be able to carry that minus the 1.5 at home. And I know it's at home, but I expect Green to blow up. And so if he blows up, you get 4, 5, 6 runs off him. Then I don't think Manoah is going to lose the game by more than 2. So I like that. The next one I'm going to go to is that New York Mets Carrasco game in against Colorado, I think is who they're playing, right? And that's is against Marquez. And boy, I tell you, something's wrong with Marquez too. He has been struggling over the season. Now I will say that his numbers have been getting slightly better. But Carrasco's off a game score 37. So he got smashed around the last time out. He's pretty good against Colorado. But what he doesn't do is he doesn't put guys on base. You got to earn your way on. You got to get hits. And Marquez, he's got a big walk rate. His strikeout rate is way down. The batting average against him, by the way, is 306. So he's not getting anybody out. He's not fooling them. And the other thing that I thought was kind of amazing was 1.65 is the whip rate for him. Even though he's got good ground ball rate, his his hard hit rate is up to 33.3. So every 1/3 of everything that's hit's been barreled and hit over 95 miles an hour. So I like the idea that we're going to see a Carrasco good performance. We're going to see Marquez with a bad performance, and we're going to see the Mets actually pull this off and do pretty good. That's just a full game, minus 125 for the Mets. And then I am going to go into that St. Louis game today. I am going to play on Libertor today, but I'm going to do this in a lot different way than just playing the game. I'm going to take St. Louis against Pittsburgh minus 1.5. I don't have to because I can still get in the game if I wanted to the other way. But the reason I'm doing it is because I get plus 122. and because Quintana is a left-handed pitcher. The number one team by far against left-handed, and it's by far, it's not even close, is the St. Louis Cardinals. St. Louis Cardinals just rip left-handed pitchers. They just where's my numbers? They are weighted runs created plus 145 against left-handed pitchers. The next closest team is 120. That's 25% better than the second place team. 145. They are phenomenal against these teams. I don't know why it is. They're a bunch of right-handed hitters, I suppose. You got Goldschmidt and Arenado and O'Neill and all those guys. And of course, O'Neill's not going to play now. But the point being is that I think that they're going to be able to hit Quintana. Quintana is off of his best game that he's had this season, which was a game score. Where is he? There he is. Game score 78. Quintana threw a game score 78 the last time out. Now he's been pretty good. His game score for the season's 58. So that's really good for him. But I'm expecting him to fall back. He has not had good success against the Cardinals in the past. Weighted ex-WOBA numbers 392. That's probably I think it's the second highest one on the board today. So I'm expecting the Cardinals to hit, and I'm expecting Libator, who they haven't seen, to do well enough that they're going to stay minus the 1.5, be okay. Because you can do it the other way. I mean, if you want to play it just on the run line, you can. Or I mean, on the money line, you can. I'm playing it this way because the numbers pretty good for me. And then the last play, I'm going to take San Diego today against Rodon. I think Rodon is being oversold. Now, I'm not telling you he's a bad pitcher, but I think he's being oversold. And the San Diego Padres have a pitcher that's being undersold in Musgrove. Musgrove's numbers match up to Rodon almost in every category. So when you look at it from that regard, and then the only concern that I have is Rodon got beat up the last time out. But value-wise, I can get Musgrove at plus 137. I'll take that. I think San Diego's a better team. We got them winning over 90 games, and we got San Francisco right at 50-50. So that's 81-82 games. So they're almost 10 games better than what San Francisco is. And I'm gonna take Musgrove. They bat against left-handed hitters. They're sixth, or pitchers. They're sixth in all of baseball. So I think there's value on that side. Now, I am going to take Kyle Wright today over 6.5 strikeouts. That's a plus 124. My number says he should get at least 8 today. And Baltimore Bradish, I'm going to take him over 4.5 strikeouts, and he should get that's plus 116. So those are my 2 prop bets.
Busy board there. Me and Riley talked about the game yesterday at Wrigley Field. The alert was 20 plus mile an hour winds blowing to dead center. The under over was 11, moved to 11.5, and we just basically said, this doesn't happen often. If you wanted some pizza and beer money on the over there, lots of times when you make a big power move on weather related or someone scratched or someone all of a sudden playing, it never works out. But this one, it basically hit the over in the 7th inning. The wind's not blowing like it was yesterday, so the under over is back down to 7.5, juiced under there. And when I saw this overnight, I too, when I get the when I pull up the sheet and then in my head I write down what my numbers are, and usually pretty spot on. I mean, I'm sometimes within $1 or $2. This one just blew me away. Arizona, in my eyes, is playing a lot better. The Cubs steal. Listen, I know this isn't Bumgarner from 5, 6, 7, 8 years ago, but I had this in my head as a pick'em game. Steel turns into an aluminum can here. Bumgarner actually pitching a lot better. I was shocked at that number there. Same with San Diego Rondon. The one thing with that is, again, and we've talked about this, you and I, at length, Rondon got his lit up his last start. anyone other than Musgrove, I would say it looks like a great time to jump in. The value definitely is with Musgrove. I expect Rondon to back up. I mean, to bounce back there. So I'm going to sit and watch that one. We talked to start the show. Holy shit, Dodgers are a dog. M. White versus Nola. Listen, Nola pitching okay, not Cy Young Nola. They just can't, whether you play him the first five and it's tied, you play him in the back end and the bullpen blows it. Really, really tough to get in there. Maybe you could take a shot.
Mitch White is the pitcher for the Dodgers. He's a relief guy, so he's going to go 1 or 2 innings. He's an opener, so this is going to be a bullpen game. Not that they don't have a good bullpen, but it's going to be a bullpen game. You shouldn't see a starter in this game for the Dodgers.
Yeah, and every time you want to get cute and coy and go against the Dodgers because it's a bullpen game, these guys are lights out. So I do see the obvious advantage trying to get cute and play Nola first five, get in, get out. But the Dodgers are the Dodgers, so I'm going to stay far away. Wright's been pitching great. Hernandez, again, Max Myers got hurt over the week. They didn't call him up. So Hernandez might hang on, or they, what was it? Starts with a P. He started this week. What was it? Petit, yeah. Started. So again, I like the Braves here. I like the right factor here. Again, I would have to get a little creative. I'm not going to pay the tax of 142-ish. We'll figure that one out. St. Louis, when they built that team last year, they were pounding lefties. Not as good as the White Sox were last year, but they were right up there, and you're spot on there. I don't know enough about Liberatore. Quintana, miraculously, has been pitching a lot better. We are looking for the R word today, so I might try to tiptoe in there on some first five, some full games there, minus the half run and full run. Milwaukee, Washington.
So Liberatore stuff-wise got a good fastball. He's got a good slider, but it's the other pitches, the change up, the curveball that he needs to work on.
Okay. The Mets with Williams, thanks, but no thanks. I wouldn't. If you gave me 100 to bet on Williams, I'd Venmo you 200 back there. Keuchel and Cortez. Cortez has just been money, has been absolute lights out. Not a big Keuchel fan. Shown some flashes there. Just a stay away game. If you wanted to get creative and try to sneak in a Yankees first five minus the hook, I don't have a problem with that. Whitlock still in the rotation against Flexen. Not a Flexen guy, guys. I'm not. Whitlock's got to the sixth, I think it was last game. Listen, the Sox bats have woken up. I would expect Xander out today. But again, if you wanted to get creative and go first five minus the hook, I have no problem with that there. The same with Bieber. Bieber hasn't been the Bieber that we expected, but he's feisty. He's just attacking. I think it's a good lineup that he can attack. Minus the hook, first five is available there at a decent price there. I thought Baltimore was a trap yesterday. The number looked real low. Now it's Springs versus Bradish, an overnight number of 150, a corrected number of 127. Maybe this is the day that Baltimore steals one. I'm going to stay away there. I talked about Verlander, first five, just been money. He's been, if you don't have a long way to go, but he looks like Cy Verlander the way he's been pitching, and that Houston team's not going anywhere there. The Ryan Express. This kid has been money this year, and against Keller, the numbers last night looked like a Kansas City number in Minnesota. Got out early. Today they opened up at 150 down to 142. Value on with Keller, but I'd stay away. The Ryan kid's been pretty damn good. What was the final, Scott, in the Oakland Angels game? Did Oakland hold on?
Last night, yeah.
Okay. So you're looking for a bounce back here. Frankie Montas is Frankie Montas. He's pitching every fifth day for a new team. He's showcasing. You would expect a bounce back here, but I'm not going to mess with Frankie. I think he can get some length.
It was 4-2 last night.
And, we talked at length earlier, and I've been talking every fifth day. The Blackburn kid has been pitching fine. He's been getting them innings. He's not flashy. He's not Dave Stewart or anything like that, but he's been getting the job done. And now you come back with Montas.
And Baltimore beat Tampa Bay last night in 13.
They did finally. Okay, so both bullpens taxed there. And it's funny, like I said, that number smelled to me. I would have had cardiac arrest if I was involved in that one. So thanks, Manoa. My love affair for Manoa. Green, great start last time. Again, it's just too big of a tax for me there. And I agree with Scotty with Marquez. Just struggling at home. And no ifs, ands, buts about it. Carrasco coming off a bad start. And the tax isn't that bad there. If you wanted to go Mets first five or Mets full game there, I have no problem with that. In hockey, Blues hosting the Aves, opened at 170, now down at 165. Under over a 6.5. The Blues, if you have props and can bet them in the second period over a half goal, please do it. That is their period. You would expect the Avs to bounce back. I can't get in there with that money. If you wanted to get cute and creative with the Avs in regulation, or even try a puck line minus the 1.5 at plus money, that is doable as well. Closing thoughts, Scott.
Well, I think that it's going to be an interesting summer. I think that as far as I'm concerned, I don't want to sit here and say, hey, I think these divisions are already wrapped up, but I think they're pretty close. I know that it's the middle of May, and I shouldn't be saying that, but I really going to be hard pressed to see St. Louis get into the playoffs with some of these other teams. But injuries, man, injuries are the things that do all this stuff. And we talked about Atlanta being able to catch the Mets now, but there's a big cushion there, so we'll see how that goes. You still gotta win, and the other team still gotta lose. And if you're down 7 games, that's a lot of them losing and a lot of you winning. So there's a reason why they got a cushion too. So anyway, point being is that I think that we're going to see a lot of interesting things, and what'll be fun is to see what teams do or don't do because of the new collective bargaining agreement that they went all the pushed back this whole season for, to see if there's actually a push to actually get into the playoffs as that next wild card team that they added, because if they don't make a move to get in, then why'd they do it? That's kind of what I'm thinking, because I think there's going to be a lot of teams that are in the ballpark and they need to go for it to get there. They're not going to win the division because you're not going to catch certain teams right now. You're just not. So it's not over because there's a lot of baseball left, but you got to do a lot to catch these teams that are already way ahead.
Yeah, I agree, and I use certain parts of the season as checkpoints, and obviously Memorial Day is one of them. So we're coming up to Memorial Day, then we flip the calendar to June, and then June 1st is here. And then, I usually extend this one to the All-Star break, give them another 5.5, 6 weeks. And then you get a real idea who will be the buyers and sellers come the trade deadline. And, a lot of rumors out there, right now, who's going to be some of the buyers and who's probably going to be some of the sellers, but things could change. Scotty talked way back in the start of our show about Juan Soto. Now, one must take a look at this. Yeah, I have him for 3 years under control. I am going to have to mortgage the farm to get him. You have to realize this also. He turned down $350 million. So let that simmer for a minute. He already turned down $350. So it's going to cost you probably minimum $400 to start. And the guy is electric. The guy is magical. The guy is, oh my God. I put it this way. If he ever got to wear pinstripes, that would be one launching pad. Oh my God. That would be some scary stuff, especially for a Red Sox fan like myself. So with that, I want to thank everyone here that watched and listened for the last 50 minutes. I will be solo tomorrow. I'm going to do my best to get out a quick run down the numbers for you Sunday morning before the games start. Today, we have baseball all day. We have Celtics. We have Blues and Aves. We have the Preakness. We have round 3 of the PGA. Guys, this is what it's all about. We say sarcastically, what a time to be alive. It is. Every day is a great time to be alive. But as a true sports fan, I got the mix on right now. I got soccer, I got PGA, I got college baseball, college softball. At least there's no cornhole on one of the shows right now, so that's a good thing. But some good stuff. And I can't thank you guys enough. Without you guys, there's no ECSI. And I don't say that lightly. Me and Scott have put a lot of blood, sweat, and tears into East Coast Sports Investors. We're trying to show you guys we're a game changer. We separate from 95% of the others. And, we're a handful of months from football, and there's going to be another 10,000 so-called experts that just got on the social media. They're going to tell you why you should play Alabama minus 55 against Citadel. And they're going to give you every trend and this, that, the other thing, and whatever. Just don't fall for the banana in the tailpipe, and you'll be all right. So with that, if you do invest and wager today, please do it responsibly. If you have a problem, pick up the phone. There's an 800 number. Ask for help. Why? Myself and Scotty care. We want to see you here today, tomorrow, next week, next month, through 2022 and beyond. For myself, Jeff Dawson at EC Sports Invest, from Scotty Webb at Webby20 MLB, we wish everyone a blessed day. Have some fun out there. Cash a few tickets. We'll see you in the morning.